I've had it since like I think '95.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I think I remember you made it. Hey, what's up?
How's it going? I don't know why your voice is so low.
I'm using this. I'm using this speaker, and you know what? Let me check. Hold on. I'm gonna unplug it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
How's that?
you're good now.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. That means my mic. You know, I gotta hold on. I'm gonna try and set the mic again. I'm gonna test it real quick. So give me a second. Whoops.
All right.
This thing is moving really good. Can you hear it?
Nah, you're every time you plug that in, I lose you.
I'm gonna go hold on to my system.
Sounds like you're talking to a sleeping bag.
I know. Well, I do that. Give it a second. My computer is slow. Here we go. Sound, eh? Okay, let's try this. Anything? Nothing. Huh? How about now?
Check the.
Now?
I got you now.
That's better. All right.
Yeah. Did you hit? Did you hit?
Better? Oh wow, that's loud now. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Did you hit computer audio?
Better, though, right? No. I got the snowball in. I just had to adjust it on the computer, so we're good now.
All right.
As long as you can hear me now.
Yeah, I got you. Did you see those posts I sent you on Twitter?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some of those were like, what?
Well, yeah. I was like, it's time to strike back. So I did a whole bunch of memes on like drinking bleach, eating Tide Pods, that sort of stuff.
Oh my God. What an idiot, right? Let me tell you, I understand that ultraviolet light might kill. Yeah, ultraviolet light kills everything. That's why we're supposed to stay out of it, you bonehead.
Well, there are therapies that they're experimenting, I think, with like ozone, but here's the thing.
Again,
number one, he has no idea about that.
Right.
He just probably overheard something and thought he was an expert.
Well, no, what they probably talked about what happens in a lab, because you have an ultraviolet light in the hood in a lab where they use to kill unwanted bacteria, right? So that's probably what he heard them say, that ultraviolet light kills viruses and bacteria. He's like, oh, so why don't we just stick an ultraviolet light up my ass and see if I can kill the bacteria?
The problem is,
or the virus rather.
First problem is he just basically spoke out, off the cuff, like he's an expert, which is what he does.
He always does
on everything. Exactly. The second problem was that, all right, so you misspoke. All right, you overstepped your boundaries. All right, and you thought you were saying something and you were mistaken. Hey, I made a mistake. Instead of that, he just basically backtracks and doesn't, and doesn't owe up to it. And
he never does. Shysters never do.
Yeah. Well, exactly. He's a con artist. So it's like, and the best part was what astounded me on Facebook, all the friends that I have that are Trump supporters, as the world was hitting them with one like funny, hilarious meme after another. You know what I mean? Of like Clorox chewables and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Did you see that Clorox chewables?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
There was one guy, my doctor went to Trump University, and he shows like he's got like two like Lysol bottles, like intravenous. Like it's hilarious. But I'm just like, all this stuff is hilarious. I mean, it's hilarious. You can't deny it. And they're just all basically like trying to. There was like there's no response on their part. I lost you. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened, but
yeah, sometimes you get bounced. It happens. Hold on a second. Let me go full screen. So yeah, it was pretty
Dial-up
ridiculous.
Wi-Fi.
You know that for the Trumpers, it was just a rough moment. And of course, they came in with their full defense, you know, but boy, there was a lot more quiet, a lot more like just like pause for them to try to figure out what the hell. And the best part was today during the meeting, he didn't take one question. He just ran.
No, he walked right out because those questions are like, didn't you just tell the entire country they should drink bleach? Isn't that what you just said? Isn't that the
What?
first thing you learn from your mom and dad? Don't drink that shit.
We actually had a safety meeting at Chart House. The manager sarcastically titled it "Don't drink the bleach." We
Oh
all
my
signed the
God.
paper. I promised not to drink the bleach. It was just he's being sarcastic. He was being sarcastic. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he probably insulted quite a few people. Like, what? Why not? Why not drink the bleach?
What, you can't use Tide Pods as a suppository?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So
As a suppository.
I just went in there and like lit up Twitter with like I just like wherever I just kept on commenting and putting all my posts in there, and so people would reshare them and just start the fire. Because as stupid as this is the sort of thing I think that's going to stick to him, that he's not going to escape. It's just so stupid.
Well, but you know what, Tony? He's been trying to get kicked out since he got in, and they just can't get him out. I mean, he does all this stupid crap on purpose, without a doubt. But
I don't.
they just won't kick him out.
I think at this point he doesn't want to get kicked out. This is my maybe not consciously, subconsciously yes, consciously no.
Oh, I think he consciously wants to get kicked out. Why else would you say shit like that? I mean,
Because he's
really,
nuts.
really.
Because he's nuts.
Well, that's true.
I just think that subconsciously he may want to get out, but consciously he knows that the moment he's out of office, he's going to be prosecuted. He knows that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He knows that.
Can you still hear me now? I just moved the mic.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So I sent you that. You said, I think, that link I sent you about YouTube. It's kind of interesting about podcasts on YouTube.
Yeah.
I was thinking that probably it would be great to set up a channel, monetize it, and then also have like a podcast, so there's both sides of the coin being hit there. So,
we could separate the audio from the video, right?
No, you can definitely capture the audio and then like put that into like a track. You know what I'm saying? So, however, they're not, you don't have to. It's like when you take, you ever like rip a song off of YouTube and then you put it into your MP3 player, MP4.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
It's basically the same process. So, it would work. What was I going to say? So, did you see what the big news to me today, which I thought was amazing? I don't know what the rules are for rebroadcasting other people's YouTube or feeds and stuff like that on a podcast. Right. What you're allowed to do, what you're not.
I think you're allowed like a 30-second clip or something like that, less than a minute.
Something we want to look up and research. But what's really worth reviewing is what Mayor Cuomo said. Governor Cuomo said. Andrew Cuomo.
I saw it. Where he said, don't blame the local authorities, blame me. Like he's accepting responsibility like a elected official should.
Don't get me wrong. That's refreshing. But no. What he was addressing, Mitch McConnell's base. All these states are spending money they don't have to deal with this coronavirus.
Yeah.
What he told Mitch McConnell.
New York has funded all the other things, right? In Kentucky.
All the red states take more federal tax dollars into their coffers than they pay out. Meaning they're taking more money than they pay out in taxes. All right. By a significant amount. And his state, Kentucky, is like number 3 for basically being a welfare state. Meaning New York has been at the top because of all the the financial industry, all the industries they have going. They are at the top of paying out more money than any other state than they receive from the federal government.
Right.
Now in their moment of need where they're getting crushed, hands down crushed, greater than any other country in the world by themselves, all right, their death toll, their coronavirus crisis is crushing them, right? And McConnell's basically implying that, well, you're on your own now. And Cuomo's like, listen, all right, just give us back the money we gave you.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
I saw that today.
so
But he's not wrong. I mean, McConnell treats all this stuff like it's his money. He's like Fran in HR, who, I know they said we're going to give you a raise, but we still need you to jump through more hoops. Like, it's not your money. Back off,
well, it's
numbnuts.
not. It's not about. It's about blue and red states.
Oh,
Trust me.
absolutely.
If but it's also keep in mind too. And this is something because we're both teachers. This is something where if you're a public sector worker, this is about when a state goes bankrupt, they immediately have the right to basically break contracts on pensions and basically like they could do whatever they want really. And they're restructuring. They could basically wipe out all their pension obligations and bring and institute something that was pennies on the dollar,
Right.
meaning that they would basically F every public service sector worker out of the pension they were promised and might have worked
Which
decades for.
which they've already done, and now New Jersey's out of money. Where do you think they went to? Where do you think they're going to get all the money that they're using to pay for rents and whatever they're paying for during this pandemic?
Well,
It's coming from
the rent reimbursements is going to be something that's going to be at the federal level. That's not going to
yeah. Well,
that can't be handled by the states. Because here's the reason why the federal government can create money, states can't, right? So
right,
the federal government can print money. All right, that's something that no one else, like that you can't be done on a local level.
right. What did he say today about that though? He tweeted something out today.
Who?
Murphy.
I don't know, but again, you know, all these people that were against socialism, they're going to find out they're pro-socialism when everything
Oh
that
yeah.
they've been banking on
Well, I
to
mean,
be there for them is going to be gone.
exactly. Look what's happening now. Everyone's like, oh, how am I going to pay for my stuff? How am I going to pay for my stuff? Well, if our tax dollars were going where they should go, we'd have like a cushion for when this type of stuff happens. But because we send it to, I don't know, oil in another country, or sending military all over the place,
How,
or
how about how
or
about
building
how
weapons
about
that we
how
don't
about
need,
how about stuffing cash into the hands of the
of
1%? You
or,
know,
or how about giving Walmart a bailout, and Amazon gets a bailout? Why? I've been buying on Amazon all week. Why would they need any of this federal money? They're
why would
doing great.
a company? Why would somebody like Jeff Bezos? What's he worth? What's it, like $60 billion?
No, he's like a trillion. His company's $1 trillion, so he's got to be, yeah, probably 60 billion.
So and the other thing is too that all these companies they specialize in screwing states and localities out of tax dollars.
Right.
They become more profitable. They've been screwing everyone out of tax dollars for decades. And now all of a sudden they want our tax dollars when they've been scamming us.
Well, think about this. I mean, this goes to why I don't want Biden in office, right? Because when in 2008, when they came in and they gave the bailout, right, in 2012, why did we need to bail out the banks? Why did we need to bail out Wall Street? The economy
I,
will
I don't
always
I don't disagree.
economy will always fix itself,
Listen,
right?
I I
You,
I
you,
I, I we've had this discussion before, and it's probably worth its own podcast. Uh,
Yeah, well, but it goes to your point. It goes to your point because we're giving these banks and corporations and Wall Street a bailout. They are the money people. The money will always make its way through and to them. So we don't need to bail the banks out. We don't need to bail out Walmart. We don't need to bail out Amazon because they're the only ones shipping. They're the only companies that are actually sending stuff out. So they're doing just fine. They don't need billions of dollars. Oh, and by the way, they were talking about this next package for a small business, which he signed what $484 billion today, right?
yeah,
But I think small business, or no, hospitals. Okay, part of that is going to hospitals, and they're getting 350 billion or something like that. And The hospitals are like, yeah, okay, that's going to last us 2 days. That money is going to be gone in 2 days. And it's taken, what, 10 days for them to pass that? Like, they just don't understand. Everything could be, it's this simple, right? If we shut down banks and financial institutions and freeze all financial obligations until this is over. Because let's be honest, the bank who owns my mortgage, right? If they freeze this and I'm still living in the house, what did they lose? What do banks lose by you not paying back the loan during a pandemic? They don't lose anything. They make their money on interest, and the longer you pay the loan, the more money they make. Like, I just finished paying my college loan, and God knows over the last 25 years how much more I've paid for my education and interest.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. Freezing, just having like where it just builds up interest and you get a freeze until you can get back on your feet.
Right. Exactly.
And what I would say too is that, just basically protects, protect the homeowner, just make it where maybe it's like tax deductible or something. So like they're not getting completely crushed.
Right.
But I put this quote up here. It was kind of something like you said. And it's really just Will Rogers, again, he's popular right before the Great Depression. And, he made a great argument against trickle down economics, which doesn't work. It's been proven time and time again. He said the money was all appropriated for the top in the hopes that it would trickle down to the needy. Mr.
Right.
Hoover didn't know that money trickles up. Give it to the people at the bottom, and the people at the top will have it before night anyhow.
Right.
But at
exactly.
least it would have passed through the poor fellow's hands.
And you know what's funny? Mark Cuban was on MSNBC last night, and he had said the exact same thing, that in the 80s we did the trickle down economics. We proved that it didn't work, right? And just like Will Rogers just said there, that trickling up, you give the money to the people. What are they going to do? They're going to spend it. They're going to spend it. It goes back in the economy. Done. That was the whole point for the stimulus package that George W. Bush passed in 2001 before 9/11. When he got into office, the first thing he did was give everyone a stimulus check. I think it was $500, a one-time $500 in order to boost the economy. And a lot of people didn't use that to boost the economy. They went and they blew it on paying a bill. So he wanted people to go shopping, and instead they paid their bills with it. I know that's what I did. So it's the same thing. You give people the money, it's going to go right back into the system that creates the problem. So we don't need to bail out the banks, and you're exactly right by posting that.
Well, you should also look into Iceland with the housing crisis. Instead of bailing out the banks, they bailed out the people. They basically wiped the mortgages clean.
Right.
If we had done that, we'd be in such a better place right now. But unfortunately, they don't want to do anything that looks like socialism. They don't want to.
Exactly. We can't do that because we're a capitalist nation, and God forbid that they do that. They're going to lose all their backers, and they're finding it serious to their campaigns.
Republicans are kind of like an abusive spouse. They don't want to start treating their wife or significant other well, because then they're going to expect it.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So they would rather abuse you, and this way, you'll never expect anything better.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't know.
So when you do get something good, it's like, oh my God, you feel so special.
Yeah. So I don't know. I still think, and I think this is the time it's going to happen, and I think it's going to happen across the board. I think that people are going to realize just how tenuous their situation was, just how not great this economy is, how it's not working. Because if this economy was working for anyone, you would have, equity built up in a home where you can use that equity as a backstop, or you would have money in the bank. You would have some wealth somewhere in some form that you would have access to, that you wouldn't be bankrupt. You wouldn't be going to a food line. You show people driving up in nice cars to a food bank. Well, if you're driving a nice car, that means that you have big bills and you had big income, but you were breaking even all this time, living beyond your means. And it only took a 2-week crisis to basically put you in a situation where you can no longer afford your food.
Well,
or your rent.
after 1 week, Tony, we had what, 3 million people file for unemployment. Now it's up to 26 million after a month.
Well, the filing of unemployment is, that's going to happen, because you need to get that money for your,
Right.
but,
That's not even the true metric.
but going to a food bank is something that, I mean, even for us in this household, I wouldn't have to go to a food bank for quite some time, because I was fortunate. I've been living way underneath my means for quite some time now and building up money. So I've been living in fact, growing up in the 70s, uh, and
You kind of learned, yeah.
in the late 70s, early 80s, which is a really economically tough time, the money was very tight. So I never took anything for granted. So, yeah, I'm not living a lavish lifestyle by any means, and I'm just basically living hand, but I stock money away. The one good thing for me, there was an analyst on Bloomberg that was saying that he sees gold going to 3,000 an ounce. If it does, uh, that will really put me in a great position. The problem is this: whatever I make, then ask me what can I buy with $1. You know what I'm saying? What's my dollar worth when the dust settles? Because maybe, let's say I walk away with $300,000 or $400,000, sake of argument. What's that going to be worth when the dust settles? You know what I'm saying? What can it buy? It's not going to buy what it could buy today. If gold's going through the roof, it means the dollar is going into the basement.
Yeah.
So it's tough to say how much I'll profit from that trade, but
well, they might have to go back and shut down the Fed and go back to the gold standard.
they could never do that. Ain't gonna happen.
I know we're too embroiled at this point.
It's not gonna happen because there's just a whole. That's like a PhD dissertation. Why it wouldn't happen. It's beyond the scope of this. But basically, the flexibility you lose in being able to print money to monetize your debt, it creates all types of problems. But what you do see happening is you do see like China and Russia have been accruing, their central banks have been buying large amounts of gold. And to me, that's a vote on their part that they don't see the dollar, they don't want to hold dollars. They want to hold gold, okay, precious metals. So, who knows? I tell you, just watching everything that's going on, I just don't know where things are going to fall. And, the idea that, gun sales are going through the roof.
Yeah, because everyone's so afraid. This is the whole point of this whole thing, is they're just trying to keep everyone afraid. I mean, here I'm going with my conspiracy, but I find it questionable why Trump and Pence, who are around so many people who've had the virus, haven't gotten it.
I have a good reason why, and probably I'll tell you why they don't advertise it. They probably got the plasma treatment. If you get plasma for someone who was exposed to the disease, who's been exposed and has the antibodies, you're pretty much effectively getting their immunity, right? Now,
right.
Think about how that sounds. I got the cure and you didn't,
Well, of course, but I mean,
think about if you're an average American and then you realize that the president is, all this stupid stuff he's saying, all these stupid things, like how he just doesn't care about the virus. Right. Well, if everyone you care about got that plasma treatment and has the antibodies and they're not at risk, it kind of makes you look like a real douchebag.
Well, I mean, he's already cornered that market.
Yeah.
You heard Joe Rogan. It was catching crap because he got two tests. He got two tests. They weren't the official ones, but he has been tested twice in a week. And he's talking about, I'm going to test everyone who comes on. So it's like he said, I got a buddy who does these tests.
And then these doctors and nurses who are on the front lines can't get these tests.
Right, they can't. Well, the protests down in Atlanta, they're protesting that they can't even get face masks.
Oh, the VA, all the people who work the VA, they get like one mask a week.
Yeah.
One mask a week. It's
insane.
they're fucking masks. They're not. It's not, you know what I'm saying. It's not like all right. I could see like with ventilators how it could be a problem, and Trump has taken no leadership whatsoever to basically centralize the acquisition and
Right.
distribution of all these goods.
Well,
He did nothing.
why would he? It serves him to keep people afraid.
Well,
That's the base. And also it serves him because you saw what he did all week. He was shaking the beehive. He's like, oh, governors, I'm putting this in your hands. You do what you think is best. But I think we should liberate everybody. I think we should free Michigan, free Virginia. And by the way, Virginia wants to take your guns in the middle of this, and that's nothing could be further from the truth. But that
I think it'd be
that's what
more
he's doing.
dangerous.
Oh, it's completely dangerous. It's just as dangerous as, hey, maybe you should inject yourself with detergent.
Did you see that post I put? What if we could shrink the doctors to smaller
Yeah,
and send them into your lungs armed with scrubbing bubbles?
Bonnie found a good one where some dude had his headphone cords. They were attached. They're attached to like a Clorox and a Lysol, and going into his vein. It made it look like he's putting the other
Like
end
an
in his vein.
intravenous. I saw the one. Oh yeah, my doctor went to Trump University, and he had like an IV of like Lysol.
Right, unbelievable.
That was hilarious.
Like this guy, and a month ago he's like, maybe I should have done this. They say I'm good at it. I'm pretty good at it.
Oh,
I'm pretty good at being a doctor. I'm pretty good at doctor. I'm good at doctor.
What was it? So you saw what Trump did, though. He was egging all the Republican governors to open up early because it would be beautiful to have such a strong economy, not be held back by the quarantine, right? So all these idiots are all opening up early.
Right.
Now, as they're putting in the legislation to open up early, now he's saying like, what are you doing? It's too early. So you get what he's doing.
He literally, he threw what's his name in Georgia under the bus, right? It just literally is saying, why would you do that? I don't think it's a good idea, but he can do what he wants, and maybe he should do what he wants, and maybe he wants to open it up, but I think it's a bad idea. What
he's doing is that so when it turns into like the royal disaster that it's obviously going to be, he could be like, well, I told you not to do that.
And
even though he egged them up.
Right, he throws in that loophole as well. Like, well, I said, I left it up to them, and I made the right choice.
Well, listen, I have a great idea for tonight. Let's keep it a brief one.
Yes.
All right. I'll see what I could do to maybe kind of just crop it a little bit in the beginning, because there might be a little flat space in the beginning part.
Yeah, where I went out.
Yeah, but I'll just kind of chop. Maybe I'll see if I can put together something like a little logo or something like that. A little, we'll work on it.
Let's call it Locked In with Craig and Tony.
Lock it down.
Lockdown. Yeah, the lockdown.
Lockdown. I think Lockdown's actually a show on MSNBC. I know we can do that.
Oh, is it? Oh, no, dude, Locked In, because we're locked in. Let's be honest, and because we lock in with our opinions, right? So I like Locked In.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in. All right. Shoot me. You know what? Text me some ideas, and I'll play with it. All right?
Come up with a good logo and put that in the background there.
Yeah. I'll see what you can make.
You have to make two of them. I got to get one behind me.
Yeah. Give me a picture. I like, because I like wearing the hat too when I do this. Give me a little shot with the Michigan stuff on, and I'll see if I can make like an avatar. You have those like sites that can good. That's perfect. You know what? Let me see they're going to get that's good. That's good. That works. Head up, actually. Hand away.
Okay.
All right.
What are you're gonna? I'm not gonna wear the hat every time. I just didn't wash. I didn't put stuff in my hair, so I was like, today, I'm wearing a hat. You don't have a choice.
Yes. Look at this, man. It's
looking good.
I was clean shaven on day one. Like, remember I had the long beard?
Yeah.
I wanted it was starting to kind of just get too like out of control. So like I wanted to go to the barber to get it trimmed, just shaped up. And then all of a sudden, like literally the next day, we couldn't do anything. So I just shaved it down. So this is basically how much beard I grew.
That's impressive. I started myself, and mine doesn't lay flat. Like yours lays flat. You probably brush it though. Mine.
You want to know something? When I grew it long, it never laid this flat before. But when I grew it long, then when it came back, it was more. You know what I'm saying? Like it was more trained.
Yeah.
So I think like when you grow it, it's also much, much thicker than it was
Right.
before.
Right.
Now,
Right.
I don't know if that's just because I let it grow out, but I've been taking this stuff
Well,
called Long Jack. It's
long jack.
like you know,
Wait a second. Wait a second.
it's a herbal supplement, right?
Wait. Okay. Hold on. Time out. Time out, Tony. Wait. It's called long jack,
Yeah.
and it's an herbal supplement. Are you
Yes.
sure you're using it right? Are you sure you're supposed to be putting it on your beard?
No, not on my beard.
On
You take it internally. Hold on a second. I'll show you what it is. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second.
That
I'll pull
makes
it
it
up.
worse.
I'll pull it up. Let me
Long
see.
jack.
Yeah.
We are not going to be
Kongat
sponsored by Long
Ali.
Jack.
Let me see if I can
What
pull
is
up. Let me see.
Sponsored by Long Jack. You heard it. Long, slow Jack.
So yeah, let me see if I can share the screen. All right, 1 second. 1 moment. I'll pull it up. Here it is. All right, so this is the stuff. It's basically like
Oh, Jesus Christ.
so it's like it's supposed to like boost your free testosterone.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tony, can you zoom in on this guy with rock hard abs?
Yeah.
That's what I think when you're telling me, yeah, I'm putting some Long Jack on my face. If he's the guy, I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it's supposed to it's shown to like improve your free testosterone.
Oh, okay, okay.
So there's a couple of them out there. But there's
Yeah,
another one.
I was taking the Nugenics stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what too? This is actually I looked into it.
Fenugreek.
They call it Testofen, right?
Yeah.
But actually the stuff that's the active ingredient in Nugenics is Testofen.
It's fennel.
Fenugreek it's called. All right. Let me see.
So if I just eat the fenugreek herb, I'm good.
Yeah, it's a lot cheaper to buy this. All right. Which I do. I have it. Hold on, let me see if I get the bottle. Hold on a second. I'll show you the bottle I take. But that too is used for like a hormonal support. Let me get the bottle for you. Hold on a second.
I'll do the fenugreek.
So this is the one I get from. You can't read it, can you?
I can see a NutriCost. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is the one. This is the one I get from Amazon. All right.
Oh really?
And it's 15,000 milligrams, and you have 240 capsules, and it's next to nothing in price. But this is basically when they say Testofen in eugenics, it's the fenugreek. It's like a hormonal balance thing. So I use that. I use the Long Jack, and if you take protein, like they call them Goal. I forget what but there are 4 amino acids that are like support your growth hormones.
Yeah.
You know, it's arginine.
It's L-arginine.
Arginine. Orthanine or something like that.
Or orthanine or something, and the
lysine. Is it lysine? The L? I can't remember.
Lysine,
What's
leucine. And then there's lysine and leucine, and then there's another. Oh, carnitine. Carnitine is the other one.
But there's a G. There's a G one that's a goal.
Glutamine.
I don't know. I have to look it up.
Oh, maybe like guanine or something like that.
Yeah, but there's if you actually hear, you know what? I'll look it up.
It's glutamine. Yeah, we have the internet right here. I don't know why we're not looking at it.
All right.
There's L-glutamine.
All right. The goal amino acids here. I'm going to pull it up on a second.
What are the 21 amino acids? Here you go. You ready?
Oh, I'm not going to go into it because I couldn't pronounce it if I wanted to.
I'll do it. I'll take the chance. All right. So you have. All right,
so this one right here: goal, glycine, L-orthanine, L-arginine, L-lysine.
Lysine.
All right. So these are the ones that basically they improve your metabolism, your hormones. So these are the ones that you want to take. All right.
Right. I got glutamine is another good part of that as well.
Well, glutamine is I think the one that's in wheat.
Yeah.
I think that's the one that causes some problems. But
no, you're thinking of Gluten. That's different. That's not an amino acid. Gluten is in the
The wheat protein.
Is in like the husk of the wheat.
Yeah, but it's a wheat protein. It's a protein. It's a wheat protein, I think. If I'm not, double check. I'm pretty sure it's a wheat protein. But anyhow,
Lysine.
the other one.
Lysine is in wheat.
Well, the other one I was gonna get to is because I have my own little capsule making thing, so I make my own
What?
little capsules.
Oh, what do you mean?
Like I've got a little device that you could pack 100 capsules at a time.
Shut up.
I kid you not. Yeah. Well, you know where I got it.
You make your own powder. You can crush stuff, make your own capsules.
I buy the powders in bulk, and then I buy the powders in bulk, and then I basically pack the capsule, and then I take the capsule. Now the reason why I started doing it is because the long jack, I didn't realize it, is the most bitter, nasty shit you'll ever put in your mouth. Like literally, I can I eat like kelp powder and yogurt. And at first, when I started doing it, I was gonna throw up. Now I can eat it; it doesn't faze me.
Yeah,
this stuff, I just put a tiny bit in with my ashwagandha, and I was like, I almost threw up. I mean, it's bitter. It's bitter. Like if the powder, if it's just a little bit of that powder on the spoon, and you taste it, you'll spit up.
Wait, you put it in your ashwagandha?
I mix it in. What I did when I first started using it, I'm like, why does my it taste?
What the hell is ashwagandha?
Ashwagandha. It's not.
I don't think you're pronouncing it right.
Ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha.
That's the one Omar does. It's like very calming. So.
Oh, like.
There's a whole class of compounds that are considered. They're called adaptogens, like ginseng, ashwagandha. There's a whole bunch of them, and what they do is they help your body sort of deal with stress, maintain your hormonal balance. They're really good. So
these are all the damn Asian herbs, because they know how to just kind of.
Well, think about how long they've had civilization for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they discovered a lot of things along the way. But the one I'm going to mix, the other one I'm going to mix in is called trilobis, which is another one that's like a testosterone booster. I'll be honest. I mean, I feel pretty good, you know. But then I think the other thing that's making me feel good is I do microdose.
Oh, that would also help.
No, I'm telling you something. That is like I'm telling you, like zero anxiety, zero depression.
Well, you're also not in school. It's a different situation right now. You're not held to the same standard.
If you take like a dose, like and again, it's a microdose, meaning that you don't feel anything. But every 3 days, a little drop. And if I don't take it, like if I go an extra day or two, I'll start to kind of feel like just
anxiety.
Yeah. And keep in mind too, yeah, I'm not at school, but sometimes when you're left, when you're not, you're left in a house, you know what I'm saying, that could be a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel very calm and just very focused.
That's good.
So, another thing that put me in a good mood is I connected with an old friend from Chart House.
Go on.
Stunning. I mean, she was cute back then, but she's stunning. I know. Can we pull up a picture on? Do
it. Pull it up on Facebook. I gotta see.
All right. Well, we're gonna make this part of our podcast.
We're gonna hide her name, and we might have to cut it out. We'll edit that part out, but I got to see it.
All right. Hold on a second. But anyhow, I got a real positive vibe. But hold on. Give me a second. I'll see if I can pull up an image that's protected. Give me 1 second.
I want the unprotected ones. We're gonna clip it out.
Well, you can't do it while it's in the video. You got to do it before. Give me a second. All right.
The benefits of milk thistle.
That's good too. For your liver health, that's huge. That is huge.
Well, also, so is not drinking.
I don't drink that much. Not much.
Oh yeah, only when you're here.
That's the only time I really
drink. Yeah, and when I have the beer.
Yeah, that's Pause. Give me a moment.
Yeah, like since we've been locked down, oh my God, we've been drinking wine like Oof. Like you wouldn't believe.
All right, here. Yeah, I saw her picture in another friend, and I knew her, but she looks. I mean, she's uh here. I know exactly what I could do. Hold on a second. Give me one moment.
Share it
Let me
with
find a
me.
good picture. But she is stunning. Here. Let me see. Give me a moment. Give me a moment.
I
Uh,
moments. Bill Maher tonight from his backyard.
oh yeah. But I didn't recognize her. But then when I kind of like saw like she had a picture when she was young, and I remember who she is. But she's just really just.
I want to see. I want to see the
She's
before
just, she's.
and after.
I remember her from when we worked together. But just she's really just. Now this one's a little too. Let me see. All right. I'm gonna go with
Give
this
me a
one.
before and after. I want to see years ago and today.
I don't really the before I saw like one. I can't. I'm not going. Listen, this is already kind of. This is already gotten like beyond stalkerish. All right, hold on a second.
Oh my God. How much are you touching your face? All the time. You got that beard, you can't help it. Like when I grow these 3 little whiskers, I'm always pulling on them. Can't help it.
Hold on a second. All right, let me see. All right, where are we? All right, give me a moment.